Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 2020 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. Now, this reading is going to be from full moon to full moon, so from May 7th to June 5th. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is starting off with moving your Moonology and your Queen of the Moon cards over to the side. These will be layered on top of the tarot to really give the moon a voice of her own. So let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Libra be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly. Show me clearly. Show me clearly. All right. So at the heart of everything, we have the Page of Swords, which is you shining through. You're crowned by the Four of Swords. The Sun card, that's brilliant. The Seven of Swords. Excuse me. The Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, which is very relevant because the new moon is in Taurus. Then we have the Knight of Swords, so we have you going from a page to a knight, which is great evolution. And then we have the King of Cups. So the full moon is in Scorpio for May, and so that's going to be very impactful for you. But it's also great that you are claiming a kingly power. The Ten of Pentacles, the Lovers, strong Gemini presence, and Judgment. So your angels are right there with you, which is absolutely beautiful. I like to see that. I really do. Okay. So let's start off with talking about this moon. Now, the main thing for you, I have everything all laid out right here. The main thing for you during this time is decisions. You have a lot on your plate, and with this, you have too many choices, too many options, too many things kind of coming at you. Discard the opinions that don't support your renewed sense of worth. So that don't support your sense of empowerment and development. That's that negative dialogue that wants to pull you back and keep you small. That is going to be your greatest challenge for this time, but it's also going to be your greatest strength for this time, where you sit there and you say, you know what, I'm not listening to this. I am moving forward this way. And even if you have to start to kind of quiet and center yourself, or, turn off the news and turn off the television and just be you for a while. That is going to be highly beneficial. This is a very powerful time. The full moon brings about power and a surrendering to the divine, which is something that you're really going to indulge in and really embrace, because you are surrendering to your divine power and to your divine beauty. As you do so, your angels and your spirit guides are moving you forward to prosperity. Now, this is the last of 4 supermoons. So we had 4 supermoons in a row, which shows us that emotions are running high. Yes, but that amplifies the emotions of this time. Now, with this full moon in Scorpio, this is fierce compassion. All right, there's a fierce sense of finding your hidden power, your hidden, self, really a transformative time to reclaim your sense of personal power and to look at what you desire and to move forward. Now, you are going to feel things kind of to the highest degree, to the 9th degree, emotionally, personally, and this can make you and make everyone just really focus on, really get into their own heads too much, is what I'm seeing here. So this is great when you have positive emotions surrounding you, passion and love and joy and contentment and success. But this is also going to be true when you have negative emotions surrounding you. So despair and jealousy and heartbreak and pain and disappointment. And we're not supposed to have those emotions. We're supposed to only have really good emotions. But if you've ever noticed that through hardships, through pains, through disappointment, that is how we grow as individuals. And you're really going to see that this is not only a compassionate moon, but it is a growing moon, because it connects us beautifully with the sacred darkness. And the sacred darkness, can be Jung's shadow self, and here, the sacred darkness is knowing that everything isn't beautiful all the time, and it can't be. It just can't be. Even though you are blossoming into your power, even though you are looking at things and you are coming with renewed hope and renewed vigor to what you desire and what you need, the full moon in Scorpio says it's time to release the negativity. And that's what really looking at the sacred darkness does for you. It releases the negativity that is holding you back. It releases the anger, the hurts, and the pains, because you're going to see that emotionally, okay, you go through, in this triangle right here, you go through this evolution. You are a student of your mind, you fight for what it is that you want, but then emotionally and mentally, you come into terms with yourself, or you come to terms with yourself, your power, your understanding, and you see that you can be the tyrannical ruler and you can be the benevolent ruler. And it's all about how you move forward, how you see yourself, and what you're embracing at this time. But to say, I can only be one and not the other, starves the other within you and makes it so that that will have times of just shouting out. And it's usually the tyrannical ruler that we try to, push down. If it's, the benevolent ruler, there's something wrong there, okay? So here, if you're trying to push down the tyrannical ruler inside of you, the person who needs order and law and, all this stuff, but can take it to the extreme, most definitely, because we're human beings and we do take things to the extreme. This is a time where you look at it and you say, okay, but I need this in my life. I need to know the power that I have as a human being, as an apex predator, as me. And so here, it's seeing you in a strong, powerful light, even though it might not be a light that you really want to kind of walk down that path or understand. So here, when you release the negativity and as you're blossoming into yourself, you're going to see that there's a profound sense of looking at the multifaceted aspects of you and what you desire, what you need, and what you're really calling into your life, because prosperity lies ahead. And I see this at your roots right here. It's plain as day. Prosperity lies ahead, and it's guided to you by your angels. It's guided by understanding what you need and what you desire. And as prosperity lies ahead, you're going to start new beginnings, but you're going to walk between the sacred light and the sacred dark. You're going to walk between the world that you want to live in and the world that we filter and we say, oh, this is me, right? And the world that we try to hide from everybody else. And we say, oh no, the house isn't clean enough yet, the kids aren't, polished yet, oh, I don't look perfect, things like that. That we sit there and we try to shove everything in the closet and say, oh no, but everything is fine. And here, with these new beginnings, as you embrace prosperity, you embrace you. And you say, all right, I'm not perfect, because perfection is a lie to get you to buy things, to get you to feel overwhelmed. Say, I'm not perfect, but I'm darn well getting to my goals and to my higher self in this sense of self-worth, self-accomplishment, this sense of empowerment. It's better than self-worth. It's empowerment. Because once you feel empowered, nobody can take that away from you. It's not something that can be, traded or, counted in coins. And this brings you a new beginning. And it says a new start is coming. And you're going to see a new start is coming, Libra, because you're finding your balance. And that's one of the things, oh my gosh, that's one of the things where you are represented by the Justice card. And the Justice is the light in the dark. The Justice is the mind and the heart coming together. And that's really what you're embracing during this time. And that's why it's so intense for you. Yeah. Now, in June, the June full moon is a Sagittarius full moon, so you look at the bigger picture. And it's here in the Queen of the Moon cards, it's called the hot moon. Now, in the almanac, it is called the strawberry full moon. And so there's a sweetness to it, and I love the redness here. So there's a sweetness to this moon. In traditional old European name, a traditional old European name for this moon is the honeyed moon and also the mead moon. And so here it brings a sweetness, but it's also going to lead you towards extremes. Now, you're coming out of the full moon in Scorpio, which leads us towards extremes already, where we are fiercely looking at our emotional self, where we are looking at, what we need to banish, what is no longer right, the excess baggage that we are carrying with ourselves. So here, as you look at the bigger picture, you're going to see that you're drawn to extremes, but you also have severe and profound passion during this time. So just be mindful of this. Your totem animals for this time are the beaver spirit and the elk spirit. Now, I do not have an elk in my card, so I had to have the antelope spirit stand in. The beaver spirit says, ingenuity, no, not says. The beaver spirit here says, lay a solid foundation. But the beaver spirit says to us, the beaver totem says to embrace our ingenuity, to embrace our persistence, and to embrace our achievements and to look at our goals. And so here, this is what you're doing. You're laying down a foundation and you're looking at your foundational self and seeing where the cracks are, seeing where things are overwhelmed, seeing where things are wrong. And you're going to be laying a firmer foundation than you ever had before. And that's going to be really important to you. You're like, what's my foundation? What's my truth? What's my power? And that leads you to the Elk Spirit, which is a totem of strength and stamina, endurance, and patience in our relationships. So you might see that you're really being called to have patience within your relationships, especially with lockdowns and everything like that. That is definitely something that is absolutely true. So here with the Antelope Spirit, it says life is speeding up. And you're going to actually feel that as you embrace your foundational self, as you look at the way you want to move forward, you're going to see that life is speeding up and that you are speeding towards your goals, towards what you desire. Now in June, I love the spirit animals of June, because here it's all about laying your foundation, it's all about understanding, but you're going to see the sacred darkness and the sacred light. They come into play and they carry with you into June with the spirit animals of the deer and the eagle spirit. Now, these, I say, are so contrasting because a deer, of course, is a vegetarian and herbivore, and an eagle is a carnivore. So you're going to see that just in temperament, that things are going to be very different. But also, there's a sense of gentleness, and there's a sense of, with the deer spirit, gentleness kind of blending in with your surroundings. And the deer spirit here says, bring a gentle touch. And you're going to see that bringing a gentle touch to what you want, to yourself, to your world, is going to be so powerful and so beautiful. But it's being gentle without being defenseless. Because if you've also ever seen a deer really up close, they're fierce. They are fierce. And they can kind of make you step back a bit and you'll be like, wow, that is so much bigger than you look like from the side of the road. So the deer spirit shows us that you can be gentle without defenseless. It shows us that you can be strong and brave when needed, but you don't always have to be ready for, to be strong and brave, like have a defense up. There is also a natural beauty that is coming forward. And as that natural beauty comes forward, there's a degree of innocence that you will be embracing. Now, the eagle spirit says, spirit has your back. Most definitely, spirit has your back, especially in the realms of prosperity. Now, the eagle also, as a totem, represents our connection with the divine, because with the eagle spirit, we fly to new heights. The eagle can fly higher than any other bird. And that is something that's beautiful, because here in June, you'll be able to see that you can soar higher than you ever thought you did, because you're looking at things, you're reevaluating. And as you do so, you've laid down the foundation, is what I'm seeing here in May. And in June, you're going to see yourself flying forward. There's a sense of freedom and courage as you look ahead. And there's a tremendous importance to you for honesty and integrity of self. Now, also with the eagle spirit, the eagle and birds of prey are apex, sight hunters. And they are the only sight hunters that surpass human beings. So that is also going to be very important to you. That spirit has your back with an animal that can fly higher than you, because of course we can't fly, and that can see better, hunt better, know more than we know, instinctually, intuitively. So that's important. Now here, you're called to what you love. And you are actually going to be a student of love during this time with the Page of Swords and the Lover's card. Now you are also an air sign energy, represented by the swords in the minor arcana and represented by the Justice card in the major arcana. You are embracing a childlike innocence. It doesn't mean a naivety. It means that you are looking at things with a kind heart and a pure soul. And you're looking at things, okay. So I just saw an image of a child being rather not nice. So it's not always saying that I will be this gentle little lamb that won't do anything. It is saying here that you're going to push limits. You're going to look at things. You're going to discover. You're going to understand. You're going to want to see what the boundaries are. And as you're doing so, you're going to walk towards what you love, but also see and embrace what you love, what you desire, where it is that you need to be, and how it is that you need to move forward. You're going to see the dual aspects of yourself. You're going to see the light and the dark, the masculine and the feminine, the two faces of you. Everybody has two faces. It can be the face that you show in public and the face that you have at home. And here it is moving towards and is looking at what you love. Now, the Gemini time frame, because the Lover's card also represents Gemini, the Gemini time frame is from May 21st to June 20th. So here you are really going to see an impact around the new moon, because the new moon is on, I don't think I said when the new moon was, I do apologize. The new moon is on May 22nd. And the void of course, now the void of course is when things go kind of pear-shaped. So there's a void of course on during the Scorpio full moon at 10:39 p.m. and there's a void of course on the new moon at 4:01 a.m. So during that time, if you could do something calm, not something calm, do something that doesn't have any consequence to it, that would be best. Okay? Because whatever it is that you decide to do during that time, it's not going to go the way that you thought it would. So even folding laundry and putting it away. You might say, okay, I'll do that at night before I go to sleep. Or you might say, okay, I'll do that in the morning. And here, it's like, okay, don't do anything, because you're going to see that things start to fall apart. You know, the clothing doesn't fold the way that you want it to. The drawer comes undone, and you'll just build up frustration either to go to sleep with or to wake up with. If you can be asleep during this time at 10:39 p.m. for the Scorpio full moon on the, the 7th of May, and at 4:01 a.m. during the Taurus new moon, that would be the best. That would be the absolute best option. If you are asleep during this time, know that subconsciously you're going to see where things have kind of gone astray, turned wrong. You're going to look at things and be like, oh, okay, I see where I need to change this, where I need to tweak that, how I need to look at this differently. And that's also going to be because you have this kind of, in Buddhism, they say it is a beginner's mind. And at your heart, you do have a beginner's mind, a sense of, I'm not going to take all my old baggage into this situation. I'm looking at things anew. I want things to be anew. And as you do so, you move towards what you love. You move towards what your heart calls for, emotionally, what you need. And emotionally, what you need talks to your mind. So your mind and your heart are absolutely linked. I believe very strongly that we are emotional beings. As emotional beings, we have to be aware of our emotional self. And if we are aware of our emotional self, we'll be aware when we're in a downward spiral. But you can also be aware, by being aware of your emotions, how other people are impacting you, and being like, okay, is it me in the situation that is just annoyed? Or is everybody else being super annoying? So those type of things, where you look at it and you say, okay, can I be reasonable about this? And sometimes when our emotions take over, you can't be reasonable about it at all. You can try and, maybe want yourself to be a very reasonable, rational person. But if your emotions are out of whack, you will use that as a shield, and it will actually make you be rather tyrannical in your approach to things, because you'll be so logical that there'll be no compassion left. And so here, what you are looking at is how your heart, because of the Lover's card, love is from the heart, and we have a heart right up here, which is beautiful, coming forward, how love and how your emotions and your mind come together. And your mind is being a student, okay? Your mind is looking at how your thoughts impact your emotions, how you move forward. And that's why it seems like you have so much on your plate. But as you are looking at things emotionally and personally, and you might have a heck of a lot on your plate, you might be sitting there and saying, Dane, there's just not enough hours in the day. I have so much to do and so little time for which to do it. This is the time where you sit there and you say, okay, what needs to be done right now? And what can I put off till later? What can I, set aside? What can I do to straighten up my life, make myself feel better, move forward, take a weight off of my chest, okay? And what am I trying to do because I think other people expect it of me, because I've been told this is what I'm supposed to do? And you're going to see that by having your mind and your heart work together, your mind and your emotions work together, you free yourself. Because in your head, you've been through a war. You may tell people what you have been through, and they'll be like, oh, that's no big deal. But for you, it is a big deal. Look at everything that you've been through in your life. I mean, you might tell people what you've been through, Libra, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, that's intense. So here with the Four of Swords, it doesn't matter what everybody else perceives your life as. It's looking at the hardships, the pains, and the disappointments that have happened to you. And it is saying, I give myself permission to rest, to breathe, to look at it, and to move myself forward. And by doing so, by kind of stepping back, you are claiming your power. because you're spreading yourself too thin, and you're going to have a tendency to keep on spreading yourself too thin. Now, if you rest, you then move to the Ten of Pentacles. This is wealth or something you value as much as money. This is also an end of a cycle when it comes to finances. It does not mean that all of a sudden it starts raining money from the sky. I mean, I would be the first one to love that if it did. But it means that what you're looking at and what you're looking towards and the way that you view either yourself with money, your financial situation, your confidence within yourself, it starts to shift. And as it shifts, it calls you to prosperity. It calls you to bounty. Remember, it's either money or something you value as much as money. It can be time with your family. It can be, something that you are absolutely passionate about that you've never had time for. Now you're starting to see that you have time for it, or you're starting to see that you can work it out, that you can see how to put the pieces together, and you never had that knowledge before. That's going to be powerful and profound for you. It is then leading you to the Queen of Pentacles. Because as this prosperity comes in, as you complete a cycle of learning, as you see what's truly important, because that's what's happening a lot, is that you're seeing what's important. You are going to see that you have the power to plant the seeds that you want. It might not be to be as rich as you want to be, but it can be to plant the seeds of what you view wealth is. And as you plant these seeds, you empower yourself. And as you empower yourself, you glow with vibrance. And as you glow with vibrance, you stand up tall and straight and are the monarch of success. And as you do so, there's a part of you here, Libra. I mean, it's actually really funny because there's a part of you that's a little wily during this time. It's kind of like a little tricky, a little like, okay, I know what I need, I know what I want. And you're looking at things in a very distinct, very powerful, and very purposeful way. And other people might not be able to see truly what you're planning. So here, with the Queen of Pentacles, you move towards this prosperity, this success, and this abundance, and you claim it. You claim the power of planting the crops that you want, the intentions that you desire. And why I use the analogy of planting, it's kind of like having this overgrown garden. Because what you're going to see is that emotionally, right here, with the Four of Swords, it's like having an overgrown garden. And you look at it, and you think, oh my gosh, this can never be anything pretty. This is just way too much. There's way too much to be done. And then with the Queen of Pentacles, you're going to see that if you kind of section things off, if you look at things and you say, okay, this and that, here and there, and you look at the puzzle that is your life, because life is a puzzle, and sometimes it feels like it's a either all black or all white puzzle that you're sitting there looking at, and you're like, oh, okay, great. That's fun. And there's a need to call the prosperity at your heart, at your power. And you're going to see that you do it. You're going to see that by stepping back and saying, well, what is it that I want? How is it that I want my garden to look? Meaning, how do I want me to be planted? You might think, okay, well, everything's been planted already. I'm this old, I'm that old. There's not time to change it. There's always time to change, to sculpt, to move forward. And that's what you're embracing here. And your angels are leading you towards success, bounty, beauty, abundance. It's like they want you to walk in this light of success and prosperity. They want you to take these gifts. And there's a sense here that you're not going to be walking the same road as everybody else. Also, you're very much embracing this transformative time, and you're very drawn to the dark and the light of it all, to the two faces of our world and ourselves. And as you do so, you move forward with tenacity, speed, dedication. Now, also with the Knight of Swords, you're going to want to run forward. That's going to be your thing during this time. It's like, okay, I got it, I see it, I know it, I'm going for it. Okay, with the Knight of Swords, step back. Make sure you check in with your emotional self. Yeah, here with the King of Cups, make sure you're looking at things not reactionary, but rather succinctly, and you're going to see that you're able to move forward to where you need to be and how you need to be. And as you do so, you have the Seven of Swords here. And the Seven of Swords is as you defend yourself, as you take on your armor, as you know where it is that you stand. The Seven of Swords is you taking up your knowledge and your understanding and you moving forward. It's you being a little bit sneaky. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a very positive way for yourself, where you're looking at things and you're saying, okay, well, this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what needs to be done. I'm taking my knowledge and my understanding and I'm moving towards what I love. And it doesn't matter how everybody else views it. It doesn't matter what everybody else sees of it or calls it. So here, you're going to have that. You're also going to be defending yourself against sneakiness, against other people's opinions about things, other people's manipulations, and that's going to move you into your angel power and towards what you love. Now, with the King of Cups, you have a very strong Scorpio energy coming through in this reading, most definitely, very much drawn to the Scorpio full moon. You are putting the crown upon your head. You're claiming your throne. You are saying, I know my heart, my soul, what I desire, what I love. And as you know it, as you claim it, you move forward in it. And there is a sense of stepping into the sun. Not a sense, there is this stepping into the sun, stepping into your happiness, your beauty, your power, your strength, calling to you the transformation, the new dawn, and the power to have it be a part of you, to have this move you forward. And as you claim your emotional abundance, as you look at things and say, this is what I want, you have the Ace of Cups right here. So you have one cup right here, which is, of course, the Ace of Cups. So this is a gift from God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. So what you have here is emotionally being given a beautiful gift, claiming your strength in it, claiming your emotional power, having people see your strength of emotion, but also of prosperity. You move forward from this strength. You move forward now being a student of your mind, looking at how your mind and your heart correlate and interact, and how you can move yourself forward to be a better, more prosperous, more diligent self. And then as you do so, you're leaving behind things that no longer matter. I mean, you have these two swords on the floor. It's like, okay, that's gone. That's done. I can't take it with me. But I am going to take with me what I need. And at times you're going to feel like you're being a thief in the night, or you're being sneaky about it, or maybe you should be more honest with those around you. As long as you're being honest with yourself and you're not lying to anybody, because honesty is going to be a really guiding force for you during this time, but you're not going to want to, it's not, okay, so what Spirit is saying is that it's not being dishonest. It's just not showing your hand before you finish the game. And that's going to be important to you. There's something that you're working towards and you're working for that you don't want to let the cat out of the bag. You just don't. And so here, until you're ready for it. So here, that's what the Seven of Swords is saying. And as you move forward, you are going to see, and I like that he has the 6, the 7, and then you become the Queen. It's like you embrace an emotional truth, you understand yourself, and as you do so, you're going to see that your angels absolutely bless you, and that you're connected with your angels, most definitely. But as you take on this blessing, as you have the 6, which is the number of giving and caring, the kind of like Earth Mother number, you move forward to a 7. A 7 is a number of truth, a number of deep spiritual knowledge, and it can be that you're gathering up your spiritual knowledge, your spiritual understanding, but also with 7, that is why lies do not abide. Like, you cannot stand being lied to, and you will not participate in lying to others. It's like, I know what I know what I need to know, and I move forward in that truth, and that brings you wealth, prosperity, because people are going to see you as someone that they can trust. And it leads you to your sun, to your glory, to prosperity and abundance, an end of a cycle when it comes to money, when it comes to, thinking of yourself as being able to be prosperous within your life. And it doesn't have to be, again, that you have a windfall. It is that you feel contented. It's like you feel content within yourself. And that is powerful. And it leads you to love. It can lead you to a romantic connection that is beautiful. It can lead you to kind of starting a romantic connection or being ready to start a romantic connection. It's kind of like, okay, now's my time. And you're going to see yourself moving forward towards this truth. All right, let's see what your Queen of the Moon cards have to say. How will Libra be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. And now your Moonology cards. How will Libra be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the May 2020 full moon? How will Libra be affected by the May 2020 full moon? Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Oh, there you are, Libra. I love that. Okay. So it starts off with purity. And that's why you have the childlike innocence. You have this, you have pure intentions as you're moving forward. And you have this pure connection with your mind and with your heart as you are gaining momentum. And so purity calls you forward. And it leads you to the full moon in Cancer, which says a personal issue reaches a resolution and you move towards love. So by embracing your understanding, okay, a pure understanding, a pure, sense of your mind and yourself, you move forward and you reach a personal resolution to what it is that you truly desire and what it is that you want. There is a sense here of being crowned by fear. And this could be the sacred darkness coming forward that you're not really going to feel that comfortable with here, Libra. But there's a sense of also wanting to be set free from the battles you've been facing. And they're more internal, okay? And so here with the Four of Swords, as you rest, as you take care of yourself, there are demons you will be facing. Things in your life where you still either hold yourself responsible for it or you sit there and think, what have I done? It's very much holding yourself responsible for things that may very well have been out of your control or that have passed. And so there's a need here not to live in the past, but to embrace the present. And there's a fear that if you don't heal from what you have been through, you will not be able to move forward. And that's a personal fear that you have, and it can be very subconscious, but there is a sense of looking at every single battle you've been through in your life. And it doesn't mean a literal battle, but every hardship, every disappointment, every failed relationship, every time you studied for a test and didn't get a grade, every time you went for that job interview and you didn't get it, all the little scars that we have on our egos, that we have on ourselves, that make us wilt instead of standing tall to the sun. Those are the things that you're looking at. And those are the things that have built up the fear inside of you and that you are now purging from yourself. You are. It doesn't mean they won't come back. It just means that you are embracing so much more than you thought. And then with the full moon in Aquarius, you have the Ten of Pentacles, and it says, show the world the real you. You're completing a cycle. So there's a sense of, having learned lessons, having gained understanding. And as you do so, show the world the real you. Show the world what you're really worth. Show them, Libra, and do not be afraid, because it moves you to trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your prosperity, trust in the right to be prosperous. And as you move in this trust and in this understanding, you realize that you are good enough. And it's not, condescendingly, oh, you're good enough. It is saying, for right here, where I am, I will be evolving, I will be moving forward, but I am enough for this situation, even if I feel like I am not. And your angels and your spirit guides are around you, definitely your angels, to move you forward. You might very well find it to be very beneficial to talk to your angels, to start an angel journal where you purge away the negative, or you write down what is holding you back to really have yourself move forward. Because there's so much going on in your mind that this would be an exercise that really releases you of unwanted thoughts, unwanted emotions, and gives you greater insight into your subconscious self and into what you need to connect with. And it's kind of like writing a conversation. So with you and your angels, you can write it of being like, me, or, Libra, and then, what you're asking. And then instantaneously you can say angel, or you can give your angel a name. My angel is Imani. So you could say Imani, it says da 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 da. You could write it down like that, if that helps you, and then kind of read it as a dialogue or almost like a play. If you don't feel comfortable with that, or if you don't like writing things down, just have a conversation. Just talk. Start to see what's holding you back, start to see what you're afraid of, start to see what you desire, and have that conversation with your angels. They'll pull things to the surface that you might be like, oh, whoa, not ready for that. So it goes back, and then you can embrace it and, investigate it another day. But you're going to see here that as you do so, you embrace self-love, and you have the courage to love yourself, to embrace that love, that joy, that prosperity. And as you do so, a new romantic cycle begins. And that's why you need to gather up this information, leave things behind to move forward. And that's also why you don't want liars in your life, because who wants to be in a romantic relationship or start a romantic cycle with your life, with yourself? You know, it doesn't have to be a romantic love. It can be a romantic cycle of existence, you know, that you are embracing. Who wants to start that with lies? Who wants to have that be with lies? So it leads you to a personal issue, reaching a resolve, as you know that you are good enough, as you know that you are enough. Here you have surrender. You surrender to your heart. You surrender to the emotions of the moon. You surrender to the emotions of yourself and the power of the moon. And you find that you place the crown upon your head and say, but this is where I'm supposed to stand in my emotional, personal, powerful truth. And as you do so, it moves you to holding to your vision as the sun shines on you, as happiness, joy, and prosperity embraces you. Hold to your truth. Because it's time to show the world the true you as you reach a resolution that you might thought would never have come. Your subconscious message for this time is the new moon in Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio is going to be highly impactful for you, Libra. And this says work through your fears. Definitely, we see that right here. You're crowned by fear. And it's time to work through those fears, to move you forward, to obtain the glory that is you. Your subconscious Queen of the Moon is the void. Do not be afraid of nothing, of the endless expanse. Embrace it. And your subconscious message for this whole entire time is the Devil, Capricorn energy, time frame of December 22nd to January 19th. Moving away from addictions, doubts, fears, horrors, and saying, this is what I want, this is where I stand. Breaking the chains of the past, chains of society, chains of other people's rules, and saying, but this is who I am. And doing so with dignity and glory. All right, Libra, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. Stay safe. Stay safe. There we go. I love you all. And have a blessed moon.